Hey, it's old Brookie. What are you doing? We've been doing a lot of stuff in the key of G, and I might mention things like a fifth or a root or a third or a flatted seven, and I don't want anybody to not understand what that means. So it's really powerful when you know what that is pertaining to. These are the degrees of a major scale. And as a guitar teacher, sometimes scales are a hard sell with my students. They're like, yeah, I just want to play the song. I don't want to get all tangled up with a bunch of, formulas or anything. I'm like, okay, that's understandable. However, you'll like it once you get into it. It's pretty easy. A G major scale is like do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's where the numbers come from. That's really easy. And it's super powerful. It's like if you could take one little pill that makes you super smart and powerful and, makes you live another, makes you immortal, would you take that pill? I don't know. Yeah, it's just a little bit of work here, and it'll pay off big time. So let's make it super easy. The major scale in G major would be like this. Simple. That's an open, second fret, fourth fret, fifth fret, seventh fret, ninth fret, 11th fret, and 12th fret. That's all there is to it. 0, 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, 11, 12. 0, 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, 11, 12. Those are the fret numbers. Don't confuse those with those interval numbers. So that's, we're throwing a lot of numbers around. We might be talking about timing, fret numbers, or intervals of the major scale. So that's where people get a little bit tangled up. Let's just do it by sound or notes. G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, and G. So there's only one sharp in a G major scale. You can just do it by sound. You can hear it. If you make a mistake, oops, okay, a lot of mistakes. Now, stay with me here for a second. Let's assign those intervals to the notes I've just done. It's a root or a 1. The second interval is A. The third is B. It's a 1 fret jump up to the fourth interval. So that's the root or the 1, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, 8. 8 is the octave, like an octagon or an octopus. Octave. That's a G and that's a G. That's your octave. If you don't know that, anything you play is you're going to be a little confused possibly if you don't know your major scale. This will kind of define terms, riffs, melodies, harmonies, and chords, and arpeggios. Everything in Western music of the Western Hemisphere is based on the major scale. You can definitely modify it. You can definitely skip it. You can definitely do anything you want. But this thing ain't going anywhere. It's going to be there. It's in music. No matter what you play, we can relate it to the major scale somehow or another. Meaning you could flat the third, it becomes minor. Here's major. Here's minor. When you flat the third, it becomes minor. That's cool. When you flat the 7, it becomes a dominant 7th. I'll just throw the dominant 7th in. Here's our normal 7. I'm going to flat it, make it F instead of an F sharp. Remember how we started this thing? Going F to G. That's the dominant 7th or flatted 7. It sounds a little more edgy. The major scale has kind of like what do you call it? A lullaby quality, or a kind of like nursery rhyme, or like a church song, or a nice country song, or a folk song. It's just normal, you know, a normal kind of major scale. But you modify it and it starts getting, you know, more like maybe what you want. If you didn't want that simple major scale, you modify it. But it all starts with the major scale. There's a major 7th to the root or octave. Now let's flat that 7, which has that kind of bluesy sound. F to G. It's a little more kind of rowdy and gnarly and kind of, you know. I have a vision in my mind of that dominant 7th. It reminds me of like rusty barbed wire, or like sitting on a front porch stomping along and playing some low down dirty blues, and it's just got kind of a tougher rock and roll sound to it. It's not so nicey nice, which I like that little bit of a rougher quality in my blues. Of course, we don't want it to sound like you know, like a lullaby. We got to put a little bit of like edge to it, and that's that flatted 7 gives it a little bit of an edge. And all right, let's keep going. If we modify this major scale to a blues scale, we're going to have the root the same. We're going to skip the 2nd interval and flat the 3rd. So instead of going, we go slight modification, but it makes a big difference. So it's open G to a flatted 3rd to a 4th, which sounds a lot like Smoke on the Water. And here's a radical thing. We're going to flat the 5th. Let's compare to major scale. Now blues scale. Hear the difference? Let's do major again. Do, re, mi, fa, sol. Now we're going to flat the 3rd, skip the 2nd, and flat the 5th. That's how it works. We're going to skip the 6th and flat the 7th and the root. And there's our blues scale. Let's do it again. We got open is the root, the flatted 3rd, the 4th, the flatted 5th, the 5th, the flatted 7, and the octave. How many notes is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 notes total. While the major scale, it's got 8 notes. Just checking. All right, let's do it again. Open is our root. 3rd fret is called a flatted 3rd. It's a minor 3rd. The 4th fret is our 4th interval. Excuse me. 5th fret is 4th interval. Like I say, a lot of numbers floating around. 5th fret is our 4th interval. 6th fret is our flatted 7th interval, or flatted 5th, sorry. 7th fret is our 5th interval. Skip the 6th interval. We're going to a flatted 7 at the 10th fret, which is an F, and 12th fret is G. I hope this is not too much information, but let's do one more thing. Let's just name the notes in a blues scale. You got a G, a B flat, a C, a D flat, a D, F, and G. Let's go that way. Gonna descend. G, F, D, D flat, C, B flat, G. Oops. Just messing around. Okay, having fun. Getting carried away. So, remember, learn that major scale, modify it, and you're going to find everything in there. Everything that we kind of listen to in the Western Hemisphere is based on the major scale. And it's modified. Just modify it. All right. And don't forget to order a shirt. See ya.